Ever notice how we fill every silent moment with something, anything to avoid just being alone with our thoughts? It's almost like we scramble to our phones the moment life tosses us a difficult moment. Is your gut reaction to scroll, click, or game your worries away? Have you ever stopped to consider what it would be like to just sit with yourself? No screens, no distractions, just pure quiet. Does that idea make you a little uneasy, especially when you're already feeling on edge? It may even just seem strange to embrace silence on an otherwise ordinary day. But what if I told you that's the very moment you might discover something truly enlightening? Let's gently unravel the reasons behind this and discover the methods together. Now, there's a quote by Blaise Pascal, a French inventor and physicist in the 1600s, and I really found it so powerful. All of humanity's problems stem from man's inability to sit quietly in a room alone. Now, I think Pascal hit the nail on the head centuries ago when he said, we've got a problem with just sitting quietly alone. And honestly, if he thought it was a problem back then, it's like 100 times more of an issue today. When was the last time you saw someone just chilling alone without checking their phone or earbuds in? We're kind of addicted to noise and afraid to miss out on something. But being alone with your thoughts, that's where the magic happens. It's when you get to know yourself, figure out what really matters to you, and get your head straight without everyone else telling you what to think or feel. When you give yourself some space, you start to see things clearer. You realize that constant buzz of the world often drowns out your own voice, and that's the one voice that should be guiding you. Now, I'm not about to preach that we should all become hermits and shut ourselves away and toss every gadget we own away. No way. But back when I was growing up, I actually looked forward to that alone time. We didn't have a mobile phone or the endless tech toys that are around now. There was a space to just be, to think, to dream up all sorts of things and not feel the need to fill every second with something to do. Now stay with me. I'm not going to go back down that road of back in my day. So back to the present. There's this little walk I take after getting off the bus, 10 minutes from the stop to my front door. And I treasure this stretch. It's my time to decompress, to sift through the day's happenings. No music, no checking messages. For me, I'm not scrolling. Rather, I'm just strolling and letting my mind wander. Yet, on this same walk, I can't help but notice the crowd of people plugged into their earbuds, some deep into their music, others chatting away, and plenty with their eyes glued to their phones, absorbed in a digital bubble. At the gym, it's the same scene. Headphones on, phone screens lighting up faces, a constant connection. Sometimes I think they're on a treadmill running away from silence itself. Now, don't get me wrong, we're all wired differently, and I'm not wanting to, disrespect anyone's lifestyle choices. It's just something I've become more aware of. So all this busyness and buzz, plugging into music, always chatting with someone, even if it's just through a screen, is it our way of dodging a hard look in the mirror? Maybe it's about avoiding that little twinge of discomfort, steering clear from what's actually brewing inside us at that moment. It's tough to pin down why you're feeling cranky or on edge if you're constantly caught up in the whirlwind of distractions. But when you take a moment to just sit with yourself, no interruptions, that's when you start to pick up on what's really rattling inside of you. It's like tuning into a radio station and suddenly you're listening to your own thoughts, and you begin to understand the effect they have on your swinging moods and what you've been doing lately. Taking time for ourselves in silence almost feels like we're not keeping pace with life. There's this niggling feeling that if you're not out there mixing it up socially or keeping your social media feeds lively, you're missing out. Or worse, you might be judged as a loner or someone who's just not hitting life goals. And that idea can really rattle us. Why does the prospect of being alone unnerve us so much though? Maybe it's because when we're alone, there's no noise to hide behind. It's as if we're worried we'll be tagged as lonely or that we're not doing okay because we're not constantly in the thick of action. But the truth is, spending time with ourselves is where we find our footing. It's not about being left out. It's about tuning in. Now, if you take the time to people watch, just observe people as they go through their day, you'll see something really interesting. Those little breaks, like standing in line at the grocery store or waiting for the bus, could be perfect moments to just breathe and be in the moment. But most people can't resist the pull of their phones. It's as though the notion of doing nothing, just being alone with their thoughts, is some kind of a foreign concept or just too much to handle. This habit we've got of constantly dodging downtime and quiet time isn't doing us any favors in the long run. Embracing moments of alone time, getting comfortable with just the rustle of our own thoughts, can actually do wonders for our emotional health. Personally, I've come to really enjoy those pauses. It's like pressing a reset button for my brain, recharging my batteries, giving myself a fresh start. I've even started blocking off chunks of time in my calendar, appointments with myself in a way. And I genuinely believe it's something that could do a world of good for anyone willing to try it. It's about making that space, sticking with it, and seeing the difference it can make. My advice is to start slowly and carve out little slices of your day when you step back from the world's busyness and check in with yourself. Lay your phone aside, pop out the earbuds, and just be present. It's not about sitting in a quiet room, although that's great too, but about finding that silence wherever you are, maybe while walking on the beach, heading to work, or immersed in your latest passion project, all on our own. I often hear people say things like, "I'm never home, always out and about," or "I'd love to catch that new film, but I'm waiting to go with someone." Just remember, you have the power to venture out solo. Do it alone and actually enjoy it. Spending time alone isn't about being lonely. It's about being in tune with yourself. And I'm telling you, once you get past that initial awkwardness of silence or not having a gadget in your hand, it's amazing what you learn about yourself. This kind of self-awareness is gold for emotional health. It builds resilience, a sense of inner peace, and can even lead to a happier, more contented life. Plus, let's be honest, there's something deeply refreshing about being your own good company, even if it's just a little while each day. Pascal's quote isn't just old wisdom from the 1600s. It's timeless advice that we need to hear now more than ever. So how can you build more alone time into your life? When can you put down the phone and just be in the moment? Can you let go of the constant need to schedule something in and be around others? Give some alone time a go, and you might just learn something new about yourself. Take care, and bye for now.